Yo, coming up on this episode of the Fresh Take Sports Podcast.
Derek Stingley Jr.
Ooh, Cincinnati Bengals mess.
Jordan Mason.
Aaron Rodgers sucks.
Mark Andrews.
Is good. Cooper Kupp.
We got Darius Slay. Woo!
Good. DeAndre Hopkins.
And Joey Bosa. You know what it is? Let's go!
And it will continue to be pushed around.
Who I think the three best offensive linemen.
Are we talking head coach? Are we talking GM?
Big shout out to homeboy JT Tracy.
They haven't beat anybody good. We don't buy jerseys anymore.
I'm Green Bay, so I hate both of them.
Bad to really make the push.
Yo.
Yo, it is Tuesday night. We are live on YouTube on the Real Fresh channel. We're also on Facebook. Happy to be back on Facebook on College Sportscast. Shout out Brad, all the troubleshooting he did. That was crazy, but happy to be back finally.
Yeah, appreciate it. Nice to be back. Good to be back.
What's up? He's actually in the house. Yeah, the man himself.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yes, we are going to be getting to, I could summarize it with NFL movement and signings and rumors, I suppose.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we got Stingley, Bengals, Mason, Rodgers, Andrews, Kupp, Slay, Hopkins, Bosa, all coming up.
Cool. Good players.
Right. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about them. See what
first up, I am looking at Darius Slay Jr. The Houston Texans extended on a 3-year, $90 million, and $89 is guaranteed. I don't even know.
That was the weirdest part of my research with this. I'm like, how much is guaranteed? 89.
Like, just give him the other million.
Honestly, or give him 88. One of the two.
Yeah.
Stuck at 89.
So at $30 million per year, that makes him the highest paid defensive back in history. He had 5 interceptions in the last 2 seasons. I mean, big part of their defense. It's good to have him. It's a lot of money. What do you think?
I think it's great. I think I like the deal too, in that it takes him through 2029, and that's when your elite cornerbacks most of them tend to taper off a little bit. So that makes sense. Honestly, that defense is great. You look at that defense at any level, and it's solid, very, very solid. I actually am a big fan of this move. I think he's the second best cornerback in the league to Pat Surtain. And I think it's cool that they paid him. And cornerbacks sometimes don't always get paid. It's a little bit like a running back. Yeah, because there's a short window with it typically. But I like him being signed. I like the Christian Kirk edition. They just got to figure out who's going to play offensive line for them. And that is a huge concern still, since they're weaker there. And everywhere else is great. If they had it, like say you brought in the Eagles offensive line, that's a Super Bowl threat right there, that team. Everything else they had, right? Yeah.
I was just kind of waiting for you to stop for a moment to chime in, but I was going to say that. I was going to say they are literally just an offensive line away from winning it last season. People still sleep on the Texans like they're terrible. They just have a terrible O-line. They have a great defense, great position players. They just cannot protect them on the O-line. That's it.
No, it makes sense, but they got to make some additions now. I don't know if they're waiting to see what's going to be left in the free agency pool here. They're going to draft somebody, obviously. I think obviously, and I just don't understand because the rest of the team is stacked, man. It's just that offensive line is pathetic, and it's way worse without Tunsil there. Tunsil went to the Commanders, right? So,
yeah, it's getting worse. You are right about that.
It's rough.
Big uglies.
Big uglies.
Big uglies. Excuse me. All right, we can move on. Let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, and more specifically, we're talking about Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. And from what I could tell, this had a little influence from quarterback Joe Burrow, but they both got new 4-year deals. Higgins at 161 and Chase at 112. StadiumRant.com, I did touch on this. Link in the description there, a little plug, but let me hear your take first, and then I'll kind of see where I'm going after you go.
I'm glad Higgins got paid. I'm glad Chase got paid.
Me too.
Does make sense. I know you're paying a second receiver, who's, mind you, a number one receiver on many other teams, T. Higgins, quite well. What, $28 million a year? 29? 28,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think something like that. That's a lot. My only thing is, I think it's great, and I think the offense is kind of set, but you got to stop the other offense, and the defense is still a concern to me, man. They didn't get better at defense, and they might not. I think they're going to have Trey Hendrickson at the end of the day here, but when I think of that defense, I think of him. I think of Logan Wilson, who's a bit of a ball hawk linebacker. There's not much else there, and are we going to get into 38, 35 games every week? I think that's kind of what they're thinking. So I like it for Higgins. I like it for Chase. I think they're very deserving, and I'm glad that's over with. The talk, it was, on social media everywhere for
signing your WR1 and 2 on 4-year deals at the same time, man. That's got to be unheard of.
It's a little different. It really is a little different, but they didn't address the defense side of the ball at all. I think I don't get it that way.
All right, I'm pretty much with you. Here's my shortened take.
Yeah.
They are paying the same offense more, and their defense is worse. They lost 4 games last year where they scored over 30 points.
Yeah. I'm surprised it was only 4. I'm surprised it was like
they scored more than 30 points and won a couple times as well. Like, their offense was Joe Burrow would have been in the MVP if they had a mediocre defense.
Yeah, even a mediocre defense would mean that he's got 12, 13 wins.
That probably put them over the Steelers.
Yeah, I think 12, 13 wins easy with any semblance of a defense. It just doesn't make total sense, but I'm glad the boys got paid. I will say that.
Oh, me too. I even said it's probably fair market value or whatever they say these days, but I thought Hendrickson is on the way out, but even if he stays, they're not improved. They're either going to stay.
No, he's there last year. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And he's one guy. He's a beast, but he's one guy.
So they might stay the same, but it looks like they're going to get worse. Plus, they're paying their top end more. Those 3 players make 44% of their cap. Yeah. There's 50 other players.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. NFL team is not like it's not like a 10-man roster or anything here, which doesn't exist. But you know what I mean?
They need to give 56% of their cap to 50 guys.
Yeah, it's insane. And then I guess you're paying $50,000 a year to everybody on that defense, basically. So yeah, honestly,
I guess that's
honestly, it doesn't compute with me either. But I'm glad they got paid. I like those guys.
Oh, sure.
I like those guys, meaning Higgins and Chase.
Yeah. I just think it's a death sentence for Bengals fans.
Oh, it just doesn't make. It just doesn't. Don't get me wrong. We'll see what they do the rest of the way here, but
there's not much they can do.
There's not a lot of elite guys still out there. There's a handful of solid guys out there, but it's not like it was day one of free agency, right? Like, you're not going to have your pick of the litter on defense. So,
the Bengals are going to be a mess for so long now.
It's going to be exciting to watch. Like, honestly, 42-37 will be like the average. I
saw Bengals fans online trying to say that it was a good thing, and I'm like, you literally have no more money for your declining worst defense ever. Like,
no, I'm with you. I don't see how it's a good thing yet.
Let me look.
You're right. Who's the wrestler behind you?
Which one?
In between your belts there.
The 2025 salary cap is $279.2.
Okay, cool.
That is Sami Zayn.
Oh, it's Zayn, is it? That's cool.
Yeah. If you could see, there's 3 other ones in the cap. Yeah. We were gifted 4 of these action figures, which we wanted to keep in the box, but we also have toddlers. So there you go. Long story short there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now he's out of the box. Oh, okay.
Who? Yeah, Mason.
Jordan Mason. The Vikings send a 2026. This is a brief summary of it. Basically, the Vikings send a 2026 sixth-rounder to the 49ers for their running back, Jordan Mason. And I was like, Jordan Mason? Didn't he come in and play huge for the 49ers last season? I had to pull it up. Man, just a sixth-round pick. It just feels like the Vikings easily win this deal. He went for almost 800 yards in 5 games.
He was a beast last year, and he in the 2 years before that, where he was more limited in the amount of carries he got because he was younger and not quite fitting in the offense yet. He still averaged over 5 yards a carry, I think, every season he's had. That's pretty good production. I know it's in a limited amount of carries and whatnot, but it's just solid. You're playing the NFL. The 2 year, $12 million. What was the 7 guaranteed? They're thinking. I think that's still not confirmed, but $7 million. I like it, man. More depth. Aaron Jones is a slight little bit.
Oh yeah, they re-signed him after they got him. You mean?
Yeah. They both now. I think Aaron Jones is a slight injury concern, a little bit of an injury concern, which makes me feel good that they brought in Mason because Ty Chandler wasn't cutting it as the backup, and obviously, and they went to Cam Akers eventually and everything. But I do like the combo of Mason and Jones, not in that order. But I think that's really good. It just when I saw that deal, I cheered a little bit. Honestly, I think it was a great pickup and a great move, and there's not much risk to it, and on the trade side of it and on the money side of it. So let's go, Jordan Mason. You can't go. Even if he flops, it's not. Why not take that risk, right?
And,
yeah, honestly.
I guess from the 49ers, they picked him up undrafted.
Yeah, no, good on them. Yeah, to spot the talent, right? But
you could have got more than that.
Yeah, I think because Isaac Horrendo busted out when Mason was injured last year, and so he'll be backing up McCaffrey, I think, is their plan, and they have Taylor there. So I think they were okay to let him go, but honestly, the Vikings swooping in and grabbing him, sure. I love it. I think it's a great move. I also want to mention one thing. We signed Jeff Okudah today, we'll see, he had a bad year last year, but we signed Isaiah Rodgers, and I forgot to mention him last week in our signings, and he's got potential. He's got a lot of potential. He came over from the Eagles. So I'm liking our move so far.
Shut your mouth.
I was going to get to that in a minute. Yeah.
That is actually our –
Thanks, Brad.
Is our next topic here.
Oh, is this our next one? Okay.
Sorry, you finish.
Good foreshadowing, Brad, there. Okay, you go.
You're good?
I'll stop talking. I'm rambling.
Oh, that's all right. Let's talk Aaron Rodgers, man. He meets with the Steelers. He meets with the Giants, only to beg your Minnesota Vikings for a job. And it seems like the Vikings they have not done it as of the beginning of the show. And it's kind of holding up the Steelers, the Giants, Russell Wilson. Everything's kind of at a halt. And we're waiting on the Vikings. In my opinion, I'm not the Vikings fan. I think if the Vikings wanted him, they would have already signed him. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I'm not opposed to Aaron Rodgers coming into town. I don't want to listen to this dumbass, but I'm not opposed to him throwing a football for us and working with that offense because it's all set up around him. But I think he would have signed there already. I really do. I think they're really sticking with JJ, which is kind of risky, but they're setting him up pretty well, obviously. And poor How Fresh. Oh, but I honestly think this is Aaron Rodgers that the Aaron Rodgers that we should expect. He's waiting for this deal from the Vikings. I don't think he's going to get it. I'm not opposed if he does, but that's another story. Making the Giants, who are still in on this, and the Steelers more so, wait. And Cam Hayward came out today and said, here's my pitch. You want to be a Steeler or you don't? And Cam Hayward is the man. Cam Hayward.
No doubt about that.
Right? Like, he owns the half that TJ Watt doesn't, right? So, honestly, I think if Cam Hayward's calling you out, and you got to make up your mind. Don't hold up one of the best franchises in football history because you're whatever you are. I'm gonna stop talking about poor Aaron Rodgers. I take I don't know. I gotta be a better man about this guy. He might be my quarterback. So.
No, you don't. I am saying if he comes to Pittsburgh, I'm going to boo him every time. I'm going to be cheering for Rudolph. Yeah, was it Mason Rudolph I got? Man, I'm going to be cheering for him to start. I don't give a shit. Aaron Rodgers is so full of himself. If there's a bad series of plays, he's not going to take accountability. The team will not work together to improve. It either clicks and it works, or Aaron Rodgers blames everyone and doesn't try to put in the work. I think the Steelers are too much of a storied, historic, trophy, whatever, franchise to deal with Aaron Rodgers. May I also say Russell Wilson is out there. Russell Wilson last year had a QBR of like 95, which Aaron Rodgers has not hit in the past 4 seasons. So give me Russell Wilson, no headache, better QBR, knows
the offense,
knows DK Metcalf. I mean, come on.
I'm kind of with you on that one.
He made the playoffs last year with him.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
got more weapons that he's familiar with. Come on.
And I actually think with Najee, even with Najee going, I do think you're a better team with Metcalf on the other side of Pickens. I like it. I don't think it's fair to Steelers fans, and I think and we don't know what's really going on. We really don't. But Aaron can, make his decision sooner than later, and just so we can all stop talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh man!
And if it's Minnesota, I'm okay with that.
I don't think he'll play for the Giants. I don't think.
I know they have a trade offer out there for him, and he's still in the they're still in the conversation. But you're not hearing any.
No, he wants to win or retire. So that's pretty. Maybe he thinks the Steelers could win because they made the playoffs, but the Giants. Not that the Steelers are legitimate threats, but they're a lot further ahead than the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants are not a threat, and Pittsburgh is a threat.
Can be a threat.
Minor threat, great band, but still a threat compared to the Giants. Yeah, 100%. And the Vikings are a big time threat. So,
and let me say about Najee Harris, that friggin' turd cutter.
He's a what?
He will not be missed in Pittsburgh. He is an average running back that everyone on the outside who doesn't watch him day to day wants to say he's so amazing because he gets these 1,000-yard seasons. But when you are behind the Steelers line and you're given the ball every second play, you're going to get 1,000 yards. He runs in quicksand. He runs with jeans on. He is slow. He does not have great vision. He also made fun of the Steelers' facilities. I didn't like that.
Yeah, frig him. Jalen Warren all the way. Go Jalen.
Yeah, baby.
Jalen's got a ton of upside.
Oh man, yeah, man. I know he's kind of smaller, but he's got more drive.
Smaller running backs work in this league too, like Kyron Williams, man. He's excellent.
Yeah, you got to have the drive and the power to kind of.
Yeah, and shifty as shit. So yeah. I like what Warren brings to the table for them. So I'm cool with that.
Me too, man. I'll start him RB1. I don't care.
I think it potentially could work. Yeah. Or
find him a good piece. You know what I mean? Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Mark Andrews, man. I am shocked here. I'm sorry. I put out an article last week there on the link in the description where I said where Mark Andrews would end up.
I didn't know where you're going with this because I'm reading 45 different stories online. And
okay, let me give you what I have, and you tell me if you have an update.
Yep, sure.
Okay. So last week it was kind of rumored he was on the way out because if the Ravens didn't do something by Sunday, they had to pay him an extra bonus.
Yeah.
And they kept him. They are committed to tight end Mark Andrews. They gave him a $4 million bonus instead of cutting him, instead of trading him. They're keeping him on the roster as the tight TE1. I thought they were going to go to Likely. Now, I kind of respect our organization rewarding their guy, but I also think it would have been a better business decision to get what he could. I don't know. What do you have after that?
Yeah, not because of that game, not because of their exit in the playoffs. Excuse me.
I saw a lot of people saying that online, and I just thought that was so far irrelevant that I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah, I'm with you. Where likely has kind of been what is beeping here? Where likely is showing that he can be at tight end one. In that offense he works. Mark Andrews is excellent, and Mark Andrews, great red zone target guy, has had nice career. One huge year and then some very good years around that, right? Little injury prone. I thought not because of that game, but I thought they might move on from him too and go with likely as the
just for like the money, you know.
Yeah. And because likely does work in that offense quite well, right? But
really,
I do say like, hey, good on the Ravens for saying, hey, this is our guy that we think we can win with, and nothing wrong with having a dual hit at tight end thing, Gronk and Hernandez I'm thinking of, right? But I'm shocked, or I'm a little shocked, and I'm with you. I didn't think that would be how it would go. I really didn't. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of season he has now. We'll see. I think he's probably only going to be around 60 catches because I think likely he's going to – nothing wrong with that. 60 catches, a lot of catches. But I think likely he's going to cut into a lot of his targets, right? So –
but maybe that would be a plan over the season to keep him more healthy in the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm okay with it. I think it was honorable of the Ravens.
I like it.
Yeah. But I could see what you're saying completely. And basically all I had to say about this whole thing. So I was like trying to figure out where's he coming from with this, but
just more of a story.
It's a story, 100% story. Oh yeah, it was a story because I'm trying to figure out what's going on exactly, right? I'm like, oh, he did it. Okay, cool, yeah. Which I kind of knew anyway, but. Yeah. Mark Andrews, good on you, bud.
Yeah. I think
pretty reliable outside of one game that we all have fresh in our mind. He's pretty reliable.
He's good for 15 games, 700 yards,
Yeah. And a couple needed catches in the end zone. Yeah.
Those were untimely. Like.
oh no, that was not what I meant. Those were poorly timed non-catches, but or IU drops. But yeah, Mark, if you're listening out there watching, come on the show. We can talk about it.
Talk about it. Tell us, it looked pretty cold out there. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, it was pretty cold, I bet. Yeah.
All right, what do we got here next? We're looking at Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. Okay, this Cooper Kupp? Yeah.
Yep. They're on agreed to a 3-year, $45 million contract. All right, I'm starting to think that 1 year that Kupp really went off, that was more of the outlier than anything, because he's kind of showing he's not that. He's kind of been mid since then, and he's kind of declining. I haven't seen him get away from coverage all last season. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have that same cut. What do you think?
I going down the stretch, they didn't go to him as much as I, expected they would. He was kind of a non-factor in a few games. I do think on his numbers, I think that outlier season, the 140 catch season or whatever it was ridiculous. That's an outlier. The other 2 seasons before that, I think he had 90, 92 in both those years. That's kind of what I would expect from him. I do think it was a good pickup for makes sense obviously from the Rams side where they signed Adams and that, but I do think it totally makes sense for the Seahawks. What were they going to run with? Valdez-Scantling or Jake Bobo as their number 2 receiver? Can't have that. That's just not good enough. And so him or Smith and Jigba, and then Cooper Kupp, and I think they can be one possibly 1A or just solid number 2. And I like it more for that offense. I think the running backs in Seattle are solid. We'll see what Sam Darnold does. I think they're better at the end of the day. And I say that even with Lockett and Metcalf not being there, I think their offense is going to be a little better.
You think the Seahawks is better?
Who?
You think the Seahawks are a more improved team?
I do, but not a whole lot, but a little bit, incrementally, a little tiny bit.
Bo, friend of the show, he's a Seahawks guy.
Yeah, what did he say?
Well, he tweeted a kind of a side by side of the old team and the new team.
Yeah.
And I was like, same but different. Same but different.
I think Kupp is still going to be more productive than Metcalf, believe that or not, if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy. Although, no, Metcalf in a new home, say Metcalf had stayed in Seattle with Geno Smith this year, I think you'll see more production out of Kupp with Darnold. But I think you'll see Metcalf have probably a career year maybe in Pittsburgh.
We need an offense that can let our defense take a break once in a while.
Yeah. That's the only issue with that Pittsburgh defense. They're on the field all the damn time, right? So.
Yeah, we got tired near the end of the season.
Good to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking at Cooper Kupp's season by season stats. He's normally around 800 yards if I'm just ballparking it.
With the games missed and everything. Yeah, I would say that's right.
He went over 1,000 twice. The big one was 2021 where he went for 1,947 yards and 6 tutties.
But I agree with you. That is an outlier year. That's an outlier year. That's an outlier year for Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. So that's amazing.
4 years ago. Since then, it's been pretty steady. 812, 737, 710. So it's actually been on a slow decline. Very slow decline.
But he did miss a handful of games in those seasons too, right? We have to factor that in a bit.
That's part of it.
Yeah. But still, I really see him actually potentially having a really good year. I do, even though I kind of shit on him last week a little bit when I was thinking about it a little bit. I'm like, I could see it working.
We need some kind of gentleman's bet because I think he's going to be a bust.
And the only reason I could see him being a bust is if the injury bug really takes him out and he misses a few games at a time or something like that, right? It might have to go on the IR at some point, right? So we'll see. What is my phone doing? Everything's going crazy here.
You're a busy guy, right?
No, just the phone's charged. I didn't know.
Man, only time will tell. I am.
We'll see. I'm actually kind of curious to see what it looks like.
So you would say that you're going to buy the Cooper Kupp stock?
Yeah, I think he's set up to have some success if he can stay healthy.
I'll tell you what I'll do with that.
Well, then sell it. I don't know.
I don't want nothing to do with that, you know.
All right. It's your choice, man. It's your choice.
All right, hold on. I'm pulling up. Oh, I just deleted the next note. Here we go.
Oh, we got 3 good ones.
This one, man, I don't know if we missed this one last week or if it was last minute or what, but Darius Slay, man, going to the Steelers. I'm loving it. He is still a beast. He was a beast, you know what I mean? He was a big part of the Eagles even last season. That I know they're going to miss him. I know he's 34, 35.
He's older, yeah.
I'll gladly take him in Pittsburgh to go for a run here, man.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it was a good pickup. I think it was the same night we're doing our podcast, too.
Okay, it must have came out.
I think that's why, yeah. I think it was because I noticed it, like, right after, I think. I think that's what it was. But anyway, 1 year, $10 million. He's across the way.
Yeah, 1 year, why not?
Yeah. He's across the way from Joey Porter Jr. with the cornerback position. They got Fitzpatrick and Deshaun Elliott, safety. They're set that we already talk about the defense all the time. I think they're better with Slay. If he hasn't lost a step over the offseason, he should be fine. He should fit in that defense well.
What's up, yo? This is one of my homies over at Stadium Rant.
One
of the head honchos over there, man. He's a good
That's awesome. That is very cool. Welcome. I'm cool with it. I think it just makes the defense better, and the defense was already solid, but they did need a cornerback. They addressed it for now, and I'm excited. I think Joey Porter Jr. is solid, so we're going to see some throws Slay's way, but he'll be up to the challenge for sure. Multiple-time Pro Bowler too. I know he wasn't this past season, but he's still good. He's still.
And we just need Russell Wilson. Just take Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. You got no quarterback, but that's the only thing I have. And that offensive line's getting there. but the quarterback issue is hanging over your guys' head so much right now.
I already gave you all the stats about how Russell Wilson is not arguably, it's inarguable. He is better than Aaron Rodgers.
Right now, yeah. I could see them playing
That's
that.
what we're talking right now.
I could see, depending on the system they're in. But for the Steelers, I probably am agreeing with you.
Yeah, what are you going to bring in?
Right now, this season, at Aaron Rodgers at 41, Russell Wilson at 37, whatever he is. I think, and in that Steelers offense, I like it.
Yes, man. You're going to bring in this cranky, self-righteous Aaron Rodgers, try to teach him a system in 1 year when you already have a better quarterback that already knows the system and the wide receivers. Come on.
Just to take Wilson back, we'll take Aaron Rodgers in Minnesota. All set.
Yes, man. Give Wilson a 3-year deal, 2-year deal, something like that, and let's go.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All right.
I love the pumping of Russell Wilson tonight.
Man, on this show for years, I've shit on him, man.
Yeah, no, he's a guy. My favorite player. He's the best player ever in the history of the
Man, if anyone goes and watches the episodes from when he was with Denver, man, oh my god.
It's probably for the best you don't. We contradict ourselves so much. We flip-flop. We like one guy 1 week, we hate him the next. But that's
he is washed. Did you see him? He doesn't even know where to throw.
That's pretty good player over there. Yeah. Looking good.
No, I'm like, Aaron Rodgers is no Russell Wilson. But I mean, if you're looking at the QBR over the last 4 seasons, it's true. Anyway. Okay, let me get my breath and move on to DeAndre Hopkins, man. 1-year deal up to $6 million with the Ravens. Once upon a time, man, D-Hop was a needle mover. Now it just feels like one of these reaches that the Ravens make every year that doesn't really help them in the long run. What do you think?
I'm kind of with you. I feel like last year was the start of the downfall for Hopkins. Looking at numbers, I know he switched teams mid-season.
And maybe even
he was playing with the Titans for most of it. He might be on the downswing. I do think it's a good addition to the Ravens, and the fact that Zay needs some more help. Zay Flowers he's got Rashad Bateman as the number 2 receiver.
They do need someone.
I'm not thinking Rashad Bateman's the number 2 receiver. I say him as the number 3. Solid number 3, but that's it. So why not let Bateman and Hopkins kind of fight over who's going to be that number 2 guy? And it might work out for all of them. You know what I mean? Zay Flowers, I think, this is a year he's probably going to get to the potentially 100 catch mark, right? But Hopkins and Bateman can fight over the number 2, number 3 spots and catch 50, 60 balls, whatever. At one point, DeAndre Hopkins, in my eyes, there was a couple years there where he was the best receiver in the league, and he was just so reliable. And he had me and you throwing to him a couple of those years too. So he made it happen with guys that were not worthy of being on the field with him.
I have it in front of me. I was looking it up. Where was I looking it up here? Here we go. Man, some of his he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1,000-yard seasons. From 17 to 2020, he was unstoppable.
Yeah, he's a beast. He was an absolute beast, and it's sad to see guys decline. Like Julio Jones too was a machine back in the day.
Too, but yeah,
he fell off. Yeah, he fell off. It's hard to watch near the end of the career, but I think he'd still be an effective guy out there. And I think why not take the shot at that? Honestly, $6 million. Why not take the shot and see what you get? Right.
You need somebody. There's not a whole lot of options out there.
No, they needed a receiver, and they didn't go get the best guy right now, but they got a solid guy. Yeah.
I just hope Ravens fans
put on the Ravens, I guess, but yeah,
temper expectations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't have huge expectations. I think he's on the downswing. So, unfortunately,
serviceable, legend.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine, but not elite.
Yeah.
This is last guy. I like this.
Last guy here, man. Joey Bosa with the Buffalo Bills on a 1-year, $12.6 million contract. I kind of have the same feeling about Bosa as I do about Hopkins, man. It's been a few years. He's had a few injuries.
Good
I
for
mean,
you.
it's
I
only,
like that. Yeah.
it's only a 1-year deal, so I don't hate taking the shot. You know, Buffalo could use him. And when he's healthy, he's pretty good, but I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm with you. I think he's on the downswing. I think for him, 1 year, 12.6 makes sense. I pay him. You're kind of going for the Super Bowl for the Bills, and not kind of. You're going for the Super Bowl for the Bills.
No,
Why not? You need something on the other end of that defensive line. I think this is only going to make Greg Rousseau hit the double-digit sack mark for the first time. He's had 8 2 or 3 times, and I think he's going to take that next step because it's nice to have somebody on the other end of that line, right? Bosa's still no joke. He'll end up with a 6, 7, 8 sacks, which is great. Say it again, sorry.
He's got to have some tricks of the trade this year, too.
Oh, 100%. He'll end up with probably 8 sacks, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. But I think Russo will elevate from this on the other end of that line. I think he'll hit 10, 11, 12 sacks. This will be a big breakout year for him. I really like what I see.
It raises the floor more than anything.
Yeah. I think it's a good move, and it's a needed but depth move too for the Bills. I'm cool with it. I kind of like that he picked there. I think Joey Bosa wasn't going just for the money, even though the money looks good for 1 year. He wants to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I don't know if he could have went anywhere anymore.
I could have, but this was an opportunity. Yeah,
for sure.
This kind of the deals he's going to get probably going forward, right? And he called himself an old man the other day, so.
Yeah, he was like, old, and he's 29, I think.
Yeah, you see, old guy, 29. But no, he's. I like him. I think that he'll look good in that jersey too. I think Pete Skill should go get Bosa.
Yeah, go get that.
Yeah.
Bosa, baby.
You better be watching. Pete.
Yeah, definitely.
He's not watching.
No, he's never
jerk.
watching this.
No, he's never. No.
That is all I got, man. Did I miss anything you wanted to hit on?
Oh, yeah, I did want to mention something. Thank you. We always do that, and I always come up with something. You're like, oh, for Pete's sake.
No.
I meant to write it down. I didn't write it down. 15-year veteran for the Philadelphia Eagles, retired as a Super Bowl champion right now. That's Mr. Brandon Graham, defensive end Brandon Graham. He retired at the age of 36, 37, whatever he was. He didn't die. Yeah, good for him. Brandon Graham. Retired as a Super Bowl champion.
Oh, I forgot to use my Slay button when we were talking about Slay.
Oh, why did you drop it right now? I want to hear it. Oh, that one was so good. We'll find a reason next week to bring up Darius.
Yeah, we're going to bring up Slay, Darius Slay all the time.
Yeah, let's bring it up. I'll just say it.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. If you're on YouTube, it's my channel, The Real Fresh Channel. If you're on Facebook, we are partnered with College Sportscast. Happy to be on their Facebook. I also want to shout out StadiumRant.com. That's where you can get all my articles, my sports writing. It's a lot of NFL and WWE right now. Link in the description. And that's all I got. You good, man?
I'm good, man. That was a good show.
All right. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Peace out.
Thank you.
And it will continue to be pushed around.
Who I think the 3 best offensive linemen.
Are we talking head coach? Are we talking GM?
Big shout out to homeboy JT Tracy.
They haven't beat anybody good. We don't buy jerseys anymore.
I'm Green Bay, so I hate both of them.
Bad to really make